now watching and listening to the longest running weekly episodic Filipino wrestling podcast. This is the Wrestling Podcast on their flu game. Ro Moran and Emil Nate. We spent an entire afternoon with Zach and Chris that we didn't think of getting them to record. You're listening to the Wrestling Podcast soundbite.
Oh, I know. I mean, that's fine. Yeah, I mean,
I know.
We already had a lot of like.
I think Zach would be nice enough to do it, pero next time, pagbalik niya, which is hopefully sometime this year. Gagawin natin yan with him, so we can finally at least have him on the podcast without having him on the podcast.
Yo.
All right. How are you, Emil? You are sounding terrible.
Yeah, because I've been sick since I think Tuesday. And the thing is, it would have been fine, but I had to talk a lot at work. So that's why my voice is what it is today. I had a lot of meetings, had a lot of things to say and to do. But I'm quite okay because tomorrow is a holiday in the US. So that means even though you have to clock in at work, mostly it's going to be...
Bakit ang aga ng holiday? It's the 4th of July, but the 4th of July is on Saturday.
And that's what they say. Their offices are closed.
So meron silang holiday economics din.
Parang
para sa GMA.
Yeah. Like all of our like all of the parang contacts namin are also closed. So it's basically a holiday as well. So I'm just looking forward to the technically long weekend for me.
Yeah. For the record, hindi ko pinilit si Emil na mag-show today. I told him he can drop off and log off and I can do the show by myself, which I have done, but he decided that it is some sort of personal failing that he doesn't do the show despite being sick.
It's personal motivation for me. I've been doing that. Like something happened at work that made me step up in everything. And that includes the podcast.
Oo, pag mag-step up ka, pag wala kang sakit. Grabe. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
All right, since Emil is sick, I'll do the spiel myself. So before we talk about wrestling, please do think about supporting the podcast through Gank, Patreon, and sponsorship. Patreon.com/wrestling podcast. Ganknow.com/wrestling2xpod. So it's around $5 for a sponsorship. If you have extra money lying around, if you have extras to spare, extra $5 to spare, please do consider supporting the podcast. Kahit 1 month lang, subscription mo na. Balati rin na sa amin. Maybe you got a bonus at work, you got a promotion or whatever have you, tumaas sweldo mo. Balata rin na sa amin. 1 month lang, 1 or 2 months. That is only 300 pesos thereabouts. So it's gonna cost you like 1.5 meals at Jollibee or McDo, right?
Yeah.
I say 1 meal is now like at least 200 pesos if you want to be full and all of that. So $5. If you have a lot more, if you want us to talk about whatever you want to talk about, if you want Emil to go off on a play and Nathan segment, on a sponsored segment, you can go sponsor a segment for special rates that we will share to you if you email us at hello.wrestlingpodcast@gmail.com. That's hello.wrestlingpodcast, one word, @gmail.com. Yun. It's been a while since we were sponsored, so if you are thinking of sponsoring a brand, sponsoring your workplace or your particular service or whatever have you, it's a great venture to try out. We have some good rates then for people who we consider as friends, diba? If you're not, di ka naman other sa amin, so go check that out. Gank, Patreon, sponsorship. All right, let's make this quick because we are both.
Shout out natin si
Happy Daisy. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. We want to shout out a special friend of the podcast. Congratulations, Hobby Daisy, for graduating college.
Yeah.
Graduating from his course at CEU Makati, magna cum laude. Buti pa siya, magna cum laude. Yung iba, magnanakaw lang. Diba? So, he will be soon part of the workplace. He's looking for a job. I know he's in between gigs right now. and eventually, hopefully, he can share his gift of storytelling and humor and wit with a workplace and a company that is suited for his talents. Diba?
Sure, sure.
Excuse me. All right, so talk about wrestling. We'll try to make it quick because we're both sick and we could use a bit of a night off. I've been recording since 4 p.m. Right. First off, let's talk about Dynamite. So, what opening segment to Dynamite? Diba? The cold open was kind of a cinematic thing. So, first things first, John Moxley officially welcomes Will Ospreay to the Death Riders at the end of the show, no Forbidden Door. So he explains everything about what the Death Riders do. So it's not about championships, it's not about glory or fame. It's about um, respecting the craft of pro wrestling. And then after that, he gives Will Ospreay the Death Riders patch to put next to it, so it's a jacket now or whatever have you. Tapos after that, he goes to talk to Kenny Omega, who expresses concern about Will Ospreay joining up with the Death Riders, and then Will inadvertently offends Kenny by saying that you've given up, but I'm not going to give up on my dreams to main event Wembley Stadium at All In. And then MJF comes out from behind them, and MJF taunts Will Ospreay, and then Kenny tells MJF, "Now, okay, watch yourself because if you don't, if you mess up, I will come after your championship." So, before we get to that second part of the story, what did you think of this opening segment?
I mean, okay, all this time I thought the Osprey inclusion to the Death Fighters supposed to be a story of someone destroying a group from within. Pero wala na eh. Parang, okay, they're really including him in the group. And there's no signs of Osprey being an inside agent anymore, which is weird. Um, has the Death Fighters turned babyface? Not necessarily, but in this story, Will Ospreay is supposed to be the good guy. Supposed to be the people. He's supposed to be the one who people is rooting for. So they're definitely, you know, medyo may gray area dito eh. When it comes to the Will Ospreay character. Um, uh, it also definitely adds intrigue to the topic that we're gonna get to, which is the title match between Kenny and MJF. Because originally I was thinking, okay, this is the story that they're gonna go now from this point. Osprey versus MJF for the title at All In. But now I'm not so sure anymore. And I need to find parang ano, medyo I anticipate what's gonna happen next week. Next week ba yun?
Yeah,
Yung,
next week. It is
yeah.
next week. They are
Yeah.
fast tracking the whole thing. Before that, I don't think Osprey was supposed to be meant to be an inside agent, a double agent.
Yeah.
I think he really took the help of the Death Riders, and I think whatever is going to happen, they're going to have, excuse me, they're going to have uh, a feud between Moxley and Osprey sometime down the line. Because the seeds are still there for Osprey to turn on Mox. Because yeah, he wasn't going to be part of that talaga, and people were always doubting him to be a part of it. So I don't think that's off the table. I think that's going to happen sometime down the line. It's going to be a really long term story that's going to be told, much like the Bloodline and Sami Zayn. But
Yeah.
yeah, okay, as you mentioned it already, so let's talk about it. MJF, uh, Kenny Omega challenges MJF to a world championship match. It's not the other way around. Kenny wanted the championship match, and then MJF says, "Okay, I'll give it to you in one condition. We'll do it next week, and if MJF wins, uh, then okay, the terminology that MJF said was Kenny Omega was never going to be AEW World Champion again. And people are taking that to mean that he can't challenge for the championship again. So once again, we have another can't challenge for the championship stipulation at stake. And to me, yes, gets ko naman na yun yung character ni MJF, that he is arrogant enough to defeat people and force them into, agreeing to a stipulation that will mess their careers up. But I felt like it was a bit of a lazy trope to write because uh okay, gets ko naman na, okay, MJF's gonna be a dick about this, but um, there are so many instances of this stipulation happening this year. Kay Hangman, and then kay, sa Triple A, kay Vikingo. So I felt like it was a bad decision to add another one and kind of overuse that. I know it's only three at this point, but it is a special stipulation. It's not an ordinary stipulation that you throw out every now and then, or every day pala. You only throw it out every now and then. So when you use it once and then you use it again after a while, and uh not even a long time after, it is still gonna be fresh in the memories of people, and it's still gonna be a bit overused. So what do you think about this?
I, I agree with everything that you said. I mean, this is lazy booking. I expressed the same thing when they pulled this one nung Revolution, and that was like 3 months ago, 4 months ago. It wasn't that
Yeah, yeah,
long.
4 months. Yeah, yeah,
The
4 months
Vikingo
ago.
the Vikingo thing was also not too long ago. So
Yeah,
um parang wala na bang other ways to make the matchup intriguing? Kasi gets ko na, okay, it's a title match on TV, so probably nothing's gonna happen. So is that a way for us to get intrigued, to get hyped into this title match? Like why they couldn't they just do this on the pay-per-view? Which is there's an upcoming one that's in Canada. So and I don't know, that fits the matchup better than a random dynamite. And that stipulation on a TV episode as well. Like, yeah, they overdid themselves here. The stipulation wasn't necessary at all. Um, parang
no, no,
yeah,
I
I get.
don't. I disagree that it wasn't necessary. I don't think it should have been the stipulation. I just feel that um from a management perspective, from a writing perspective, this particular stipulation shouldn't have been the one. Like it should
Okay,
have been
yeah,
something else.
yeah.
Like not about, is Max not creative enough to punish people some other way?
I mean,
Like,
yeah, that's the thing that I've noticed with the MJF character is he's gonna use the same trope over and over and over again. I love the guy, but he's been like, remember how in disputes with Jericho and Cody where they had their opponent do a lot of things before they could get a match with him.
uh,
And now this same old trope wherein, okay, you're gonna have a title match, but if you lose, you can never challenge for the title again. So he likes to use the same tropes over and over and over again. And nagiging it sometimes could lead to a character getting stale. It hasn't happened to him yet, but using the same character tropes over and over again. That's the reason why a lot of people, including me, some grew tired of the Roman character. You know, and I'm afraid he will fall into that same trap.
yeah. I just don't like how people are saying no, it's not overuse, and what's overused interference in the Roman Reigns match. Like, uh, we're not comparing these things, diba? It's not a comparison, and if
Yeah,
you try to compare it, it's immediately whataboutism, and that's not it's not a real argument,
all right.
diba? The real argument is that, as John is saying, this is a heavy stipulation, diba? That they've used that entire Western wrestling has used it thrice in this year alone, and we're only in month 7 of 12. But like, okay, it's more an indictment really on the creative process here. Like, both AAA and AEW, like, have we run out of ideas for stipulations? Like, um, sayang eh, kasi I get how it would have been perfect for, or how it is actually perfect for MJF's character. It's just that when you consider what others are doing, it it really ends up being played out. We have a philosophy in wrestling, in actual wrestling, in how we put together matches. Now, if you see another wrestler do something, it's on you to avoid repeating that later in the night. And that's, I think, what a lot of fans don't realize, because it's not something that's being taught to them. It's only really being taught to the wrestlers. So I'm coming at this from the perspective of a wrestler who's been taught to not repeat things where in the danger of losing out on the returns, about the diminishing returns, it is what it is. Kaya may gets ko bakit hindi maintindihan ng fans to. But to me, you are supposed to find a different way to be creative. You're supposed to find a way to stand out. And to me, MJF was a victim of everyone using, or not everyone, but more than once happening for this, diba? This is, sayang lang kasi if MJF is so creative as he says he is, like he would have found something else. All right. Speaking of things that were creative, so there was a backstage segment between Cope and Cage. Um, Christian asked Cope, "Bakit mo ginamit si Jay White?" And Cope says, "Jay White owed him a favor before he got injured last year."
Yeah.
Diba? And Christian says, "But I have a problem with Jay White before he got injured last year." So he walks out of the scene, and there is now tension between the two tag team champions.
Again. Well, yeah, they they teased it nung after the match, nung Forbidden Door. But yeah, I immediately got it when he returned and helped Cope because yun nga, the last time I remember Jay White, he was aligned with Cope against the
Uh,
Death Fighters. And which is the same thing that Jay White addressed in his promo. Like the last time I was here, weren't y'all hating on the Death
oh,
Riders?
oo nga.
So so he also just added a promo. So I like the continuity there. Also like the continuity on Christian, not fucking with Jay White. Because up technically that time up nila si Cope.
Oh,
So gets ko. I'm glad that they went this way instead of okay, since we're on the same side now, we're supposed to be buddies. So I don't think it's gonna lead to a breakup or
yeah,
anything.
it's not gonna break.
Kasi,
They're not gonna break up. It's just
but
that
this
it's
is a
just
good like story for them to do while being champions.
it's just nice na may acknowledgement of
Yeah, what
what
happened?
alignments were before Jay White
Yeah.
got injured, diba? So
Oh.
again, we compliment these things because we never got this back when Vince was in charge. Diba?
Parang it's a reward for being a long time viewer. Uh, the thing that you watched a year ago still relevant to the current storylines.
Yeah, exactly. Tama. All right. And then lastly from Dynamite, the TBS Championship was up for grabs in the 20th survival of the fittest match in history. Hikaru Shida wins it by defeating Chris Statlander after Persephone hits Chris Statlander with a championship belt.
Yeah, so pretty controversial win there.
Oh,
Persephone also turned heel kasi
oh,
parang face
babyface siya.
siya, di ba?
Yeah,
Coming
yeah.
into the match.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of Sheeta, and when she came back, she has this new Escher character. Yung new heel character niya, which is very very new, and I'm glad that she's being rewarded here with the TBS the championship. As much as I would have liked maybe Stat or Harley to win the title, I'm still okay with Sheeta winning the championship nonetheless.
Yeah. Tawag doon? It looks like it's gonna be a three-way feud between Sheeta, Stat, and Persephone, which
Yeah.
deserved them on the Persephone. I think they need to use Persephone before she ends up quitting and joining NXT.
Oh God.
So congratulations to Sheeta for
Yep.
winning the championship after being gone for so long, for 16 months.
Yeah.
That's how long she was gone since it took 16 months to fix her visa issues in the
Yeah.
US. So that's how crazy it is when you are a foreign talent coming into the US.
Seems like a lot of talents are having visa issues lately.
Pero yeah, I guess. Pero
Yeah.
yung kay Shida was a long, long time
Yeah.
before this, the current issues.
All right.
Right. We have WWE pa rin, but before that, let's take a quick break and rest our voices. Take a quick Emil Nate dance break.
My name is Collar Cash Money Cannon, and you're listening to the Wrestling Podcast.
All right. Let's go over to Raw. And first things first, the biggest update from Raw, the biggest storyline development. Oba Femi is delaying his hard-won King of the Ring championship match. It was supposed to be at SummerSlam, but Brock Lesnar came back and syempre because Oba Femi was calling him out, diba? Brock Lesnar came out, attacked Oba, and they laid him up with an F5. Before Brock was able to leave, Oba laid out the challenge. Screw the championship match for now. Screw the title shot for now. I want Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. And Brock ups the ante and makes it or proposes a Hell in a Cell match, which Oba accepts. And after that, Oba talks to Adam Pearce, the Raw GM, and says, "Okay, I am sure that I'm doing this. The championships aren't going anywhere. I will choose. I will choose after I deal with Brock, and Brock is the priority right now." So a lot of people are upset about this particular storytelling decision because, syempre, the precedent is uh you get a championship match at SummerSlam if you win King of the Ring. And some people are saying that you invalidate, quote unquote, the King of the Ring tournament if you delay the SummerSlam match. To go to um it would be similar to whether to if it so happened that the Royal Rumble winner makes his WrestleMania title shot happen before WrestleMania or after WrestleMania.
It just
Uh,
happened before.
which has actually happened before, which is
Yep.
why this move also has a precedent. I remember this, Siba. I remember that the WrestleMania shot was cashed in at the pay-per-view before WrestleMania.
John Cena did it,
Yeah,
2008.
yeah, diba? Kaya people when people crying, oh, but it's precedent. It's what's the point of the tournament if we can do this? But we have already done this.
Yeah.
So I feel that it says a whole lot about you with your particular reaction to this particular storyline move. Ikaw, Emil, what do you feel?
I mean, yeah, I mean it's with tradition, but at the same time, I'm fine with I'm fine with things that go non-traditional. And in this case, you got he and there's a valid reason naman for the delay. It's not like he's delaying it for nothing. He is delaying it because he has a business to deal with Brock Lesnar. You know, and again, that trope isn't new. We have seen this multiple times before. You got, like we said, John Cena in 2008. Yeah, I remember Zack Sabre Jr. winning the G1
Yeah.
tournament and cashing
Exactly.
in his title match. I think that was October. But it was like way before Wrestle Kingdom, if I can remember it correctly. Diba? So it's not necessarily new, and it doesn't invalidate the King of the Ring win because he still gets a title shot. He still has a shot, right? He still has a title match, you know?
Yeah. Again, the reason why I say it says a lot about you is if you complain about this, then more often than not, you don't like being flexible and you don't like
Yeah.
finding ways to go around things. Because you're right, you're totally right, Emil. When you said that they did a good explanation, they went out of their way to set up a motivation for
Yeah.
Obafemi to change what he was supposed to do, diba? And he explained that to Adam Pearce. They took the time to explain things. It would have been much more offensive if he didn't do anything at all. But if he just came out and said, "Okay, thank you, I win the King of the Ring, and now I'm gonna delay everything and I'm gonna challenge Brock Lesnar." If that was the first thing he said,
Yeah.
diba? You need actions to explain other actions,
Yeah.
diba? The actions have consequences, diba? And I'm sure the SummerSlam, the moving of his will have consequences as well, which is already another point we're going to talk about. Diba?
Yeah.
Um, because Obafemi isn't challenging Roman Reigns or anyone for SummerSlam, Roman Reigns gets Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. Ika, what do you feel about this match?
I'm just glad Seth is over with the vision.
Okay.
I'm just glad. I mean, I've been complaining about that feud for such a long time now. Na I'm just glad he's doing something else. But man, when I was watching this, I I can't help but to feel a little bit nostalgic, a little bit emotional, considering these two came in when I was a new wrestling fan, and now like time flies so fast. Now, like Seth said, they are near the end than they were at the beginning. So like, damn, tayo na, ganito na pala ako katagal
I don't
as
know
a
the
wrestling
wrestling.
fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I started out late, so I thought I was like in the back of my mind, I thought I was a freshly new fan, but I did realize like at this point I'm a wrestling fan for half my life already. So that those are the feelings that came to me when I was watching this promo. But at the same time, I mean, the promo was perfect. And for the first time, parang feel mo si Roman may respeto doon sa kalaban niya. Because the tribal chief character always looks down on his
Yeah,
opponents.
yeah, yeah.
But Seth, he knew, or he knows that Seth is someone he can't look down. Kasi parang Roman treats Seth as a peer more than anything.
Finally, na.
Yeah, di ba? And he knows that Seth is the only one he hasn't beaten yet in a one-on-one match, which
What?
that
What do you
was
mean? He did.
no, wasn't. Di pa?
He did. What did
DQ.
DQ? Oh, sure.
No,
When you put it that way, when he hasn't pinned anyone, he hasn't pinned Seth yet.
yeah, he hasn't like technically. Yeah, technically the DQ si Seth pa nga yung nanalo dun eh.
And yeah.
So technically Roman
Okay, okay,
hasn't
right, right, right,
Roman
right.
hasn't won a one-on-one match against Seth
Okay, okay.
Rollins.
Right. I remember
So
now.
that's the motivation na binigay ni Seth kay Roman. Now what do you want your legacy to be? Diba? Do you want to be like the greatest of all time? Parang how can you be the greatest of all time if you haven't beaten me? So that was the challenge that Seth laid out. And
Yeah.
Roman, as narcissistic his character is, syempre gusto niya, he triumphs above all. And he can't accept the fact that he hasn't beaten Seth yet. So they could coast with the build from here on out, but I feel like that initial promo has already set the table. That's it. That's all the motivation. That's all the hype. That's all the promotion I need to get into this match. But of course, they're gonna do something from now until SummerSlam. Kasi medyo malayo pa naman tayo eh. But that promo in itself, I was sold.
Right. Okay. And people are still complaining. Like, Seth didn't win King of the Ring, and now he's getting a championship match. Like, who cares?
It's Seth
Just
Rollins, people.
tsaka, again, they laid out a motivation. Roman said yes, diba? Uh, ultimately naman, it's up to the champion to accept the challenge.
Yeah. So yeah, I
Speaking of,
mean,
sorry,
it's gonna be a great match for sure. But yun
right.
nga, sabi ko nga ng Discord natin nung when Raw was happening, parang feel ko incomplete talaga without, and I know it's not gonna happen anytime soon, but it feels incomplete without Moxley.
For the
Like
record, for people listening to this, Emil said that though Rollins and Reigns can't retire unless
yeah,
until they have that triple threat match for the
Mox,
Shield at
yeah,
WrestleMania.
that's
And I'm
still the
sorry, I'm
dream for
sorry to
me.
break it to
That's
you,
still the
man,
dream.
but Mox isn't coming back to WWE.
Yeah, but
He has been hurt so much by the sports entertainment company.
yeah, but yeah. But hey, we're gonna get that Hall of Fame induction someday,
Oh, naman.
siguro. Yeah, but no.
All right. Speaking of challengers, so Io naman has at least fulfilled the Queen of the Ring prophecy. So
Yep.
she is taking her championship match at SummerSlam. She has challenged Liv Morgan. And I think this was where it was going to naman. I don't think we're gonna do the Io versus Rhea match anytime soon, especially Rhea's injured, diba?
Yep.
We still have an absent WWE Women's Champion on SmackDown. So I hope that they acknowledge that soon enough. Judgment Day beat her down. Wala,
I
that's
have a
it.
problem with that. I have a problem
Okay.
with that.
With what? With what?
With that one kasi
Bakit?
Io Sky is the purest baby face
Oh,
in the company.
sure.
Pero puta wala siyang kaibigan na rest back sa
Okay,
kanya.
wait. Being a baby face doesn't necessarily mean you have friends. And just
Okay.
because you have friends doesn't mean that all your friends in the locker room are obligated to help you when somebody beats you up. Like, yes, you can, pwede mong i-hold against them, di ba? You can, pwede mong isumbat sa kanila yun one day. But it doesn't mean na, you know, who who is friendly with EO backstage is going to come out and help her and save her.
The reason why I said that is because EO, for all the years, EO is mostly the one who's saving people.
Sure.
But at this point, like, yun naisip ko while watching this. Wala naman siyang kaibigan on the roster. Someone to help her after a beatdown, a 3-on-1 beatdown. Especially, and then dispute is gonna go on for a month. So for sure they're gonna want to do some tags. So, diba? See, like, who else on the roster can help out poor EO Sky?
Mm.
Right? So yeah. That was the one
You're
thing
right.
I noticed.
Speaking of friends who turn on friends, Lyra Valkyria came out looking different in a video promo and explained why she turned on Bailey. So basically, sabi ni Lyra, uh, she had been putting up with Bailey's weird mood swings and character changes for the past couple of years. And now that natalo sila, although she was the one who got pinned, she snapped. She was the one who snapped this time. Uh, yeah, not a bad explanation for it. I think that it makes sense. Lalo nga, we did kind of forget and they did kind of sweep under the rug yung weird mood swings gimmick ni Bailey.
Yeah, again, as a long time, as someone who has been watching this story for a year, like, that's why I posted the question in our Discord earlier. Like, yeah, she's been putting up with Bailey for over a year,
Oo nga.
but one bad day, diba? One bad day is all it
Any
all
question
it
mo? Sige,
takes.
any question mo? Let's
Yeah, so
let's ask the people in the
yeah,
crowd.
so my question was, well, again, I was watching this promo and she did point out something that the one bad decision overshadows all the good things that she has done. So I asked this question: why are we as a society judge people for their one bad day when they have like years or lifetime of like showing good traits or being good to people? You know, like that's something like, oh, I know.
Okay. All right.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Here's the answer. What we do on good days as good members of society, positive members of society, productive members of society, that is what is expected of us.
Okay.
We are expected to uphold the harmony of society by not acting out on our base impulses, our inner urges. Like, diba? I'm sure may kagalit ka, pero sa office or whatever have you. Pero di mo siya
Don't act on it.
babatuhan.
Yeah.
Diba? So when you act out on these impulses on a bad day, the tendency is you're often going to hurt someone else or you're going to hurt a whole bunch of people. And that's what happened when Lyra turned on Bailey. She hurt Bailey. Diba?
Yeah.
Bailey was coming in for a hug and then she hurt her. And that's why people will judge you for your bad days more than they will love you for your good days. I mean,
Yeah.
definitely appreciate your people if they're doing good, but at the same time, that's how we make sure that we don't end up having school shooters, if you will. For one, that's those are people who had a bad day, and
Yeah.
now you can't not judge them. I said they killed
Yeah.
they killed students, they killed kids.
Yeah.
Diba? That's why we can't let the bad days slide.
True.
That's
All
that's
right.
what that's what happens.
Yun.
All right.
Yeah.
What else we have on Raw? Oh yeah, the Vision is dead in the water. Kasi Paul Heyman left Austin Theory all by himself.
Yeah. I mean, thank God if if
Austin
it's the
Theory can finally
case.
turn face now.
Yeah. I mean, all his interviews, all his like
Baka yun pala
document.
yung dahilan kung bakit niya sinasabi sa interviews niya. Eh, no?
Yeah, I mean, the guy is a good guy. It's just that it's just that he can't channel it into his character.
Oh, di siya kupal.
Oh, um, but it's an interesting point kasi Theory did say that they still have a championship match next week. So I guess what's gonna happen is Braun's gonna beat the shit out of him, and
Oh, well.
that's the SummerSlam match right there. Theory versus Braun.
What a sad decline for Braun. It's good for
Yeah,
theory,
shoot.
yes, pero wow,
Yeah,
you go from challenging for the championship to feuding with Austin Theory.
I mean we have talked about that on Monday. That we have said once Oba stepped up to Raw, parang nawala yung shine ni Braun Breaker.
Yeah, I think Braun needs to go to SmackDown at this point.
Yeah, I mean have a restart, diba?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Last bit on WWE NXT, we have a new debut. The wrestler formerly known as Nikki Blackheart debuted and attacked Tatum Paxley, so Tatum Paxley isn't going anywhere. People or the commentators said, we all know who that is, and then people didn't know who that was.
They
And
didn't mention a name on the
yeah,
naman.
no. The problem was people were reacting online because when the last time they did this, they did it for Evil, they did it for Ricky Saints,
Mason Rock. They did it for Mason Rock.
Mason Rook, Blake Monroe, diba?
Yeah.
So they were all saying that for these well-known stars, pero a relatively fewer amount of people know Nikki Blackheart. Like I'm not even that familiar with Nikki Blackheart, really. So parang I get that they were still finalizing the name, but at the same time, that line, like, oh, we all know who that is. You all know who I am, diba? Is a curse for people who don't actually have the mainstream or not the mainstream, pero widespread reputation. So sayang, medyo knock on her cred here uh, with this bit. Unfortunately for Miss Blackheart.
Yeah, I would. Even the Mason Rock one, parang ganun din yung ano eh. Ganun din yung parang na-feel ko na they're pointing out na, and then, di
Yeah,
naman
I
pala.
didn't know who
Di naman
who
pala.
Mason Rook was. I didn't know
No, no, no.
who
They
I
didn't
didn't know
present it.
who I know. I didn't know. What was his first name? His original name?
Shit.
Will
Yeah, I
Cruz. Will Cruz. I
forgot.
didn't know who Will
Yeah,
Cruz is.
Then when si Mason Rook pala pumasok, they didn't on commentary, they didn't say naman pala na, oh,
Yeah.
they didn't say naman pala. But this one
They,
they did, which
yeah,
is
yun, yeah.
that's what your point. Na parang they are relying upon us to know who she is without
Yeah.
mentioning her name, which is for some people like who's that,
Yeah,
and it sucks.
you're not
It
gonna get that
sucks.
in AEW either. Like AEW
Yeah,
is not gonna tell you, oh, you know who that is. We all know who that is. Like they'll have you a name. Diba?
yeah. They'll tell you straight up what their name is.
Oh.
So, um, I wish they could have formulate a name. But I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to get some intrigue, I guess, with the debut. That's why they didn't name her just yet. Kasi it worked with Ricky Saints, with Black Monroe, na nagkaroon tayo ng 1 or 2 weeks of anticipation. Oh, what their name's gonna, ano ba yung magiging name nila? So I think they're trying to do the same here. But like you pointed out, bro, they can't do this with everyone else. Kasi first of all, like all these guys had mainstream Western TV experience. But
Yeah.
Nikki, I don't think so. I this is the first time I've heard of her.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's not that they were trying to assume that everyone knew her, but indeed talaga eh.
yeah,
So I don't think that was the right call to make. I felt like it was really they had to find another line, another creative way to express that and say, "Oh, hey, we don't have a name for you yet, but at least say who's that?" Diba? Wow, who are you? Or put over the fact that she is a hell of a woman, diba? Throwing Tatum Paxley around,
yeah.
diba? Sayang lang eh. Medyo off sila dun. Oh
But
well,
she's
but
gonna do good. I feel
I'm
like
sure
she's gonna
she's
do
gonna do
good.
it good. I mean, she is a woman in the PC. We have established in the last episode
Yeah,
uh, the women in the PC are gonna kill it. Like they are the best exports of the performance center right now.
yep. Okay,
And
yeah.
then,
You know what?
sorry.
Since we have time,
Go.
I've been seeing a lot of the Twitter Twitter comments about this. They feel like, and I want to get your opinions on this, that Kendall Gray is getting over pushed, which is ridiculous to me. But
Really?
yeah, I mean, parang they're shoving Kendall Gray down our throats now. Like as ridiculous as that claim is, I've been seeing quite few comments saying that. And I'm just afraid you know, it's gonna snowball from here, considering that now she's a champion. Um, but yeah, I want to get your opinions on that. Just a quick,
I don't know. I I don't think she's over pushed. I feel like what is
because they're
over
fast.
pushing anyway?
I think no, I think it's
She
because they're
wasn't
fast
fast tracked.
tracking her.
She was in the developmental
For some
system for
people.
2 years.
Yeah, for some people now they're fast tracking her now.
Kasi sure, like Zarya
Yeah,
can't
that
get a
you
championship
yeah,
until I know.
you got they're using names that to justify their hate. Like, what about Kilani Jordan now or
Jordan was a
Zarya?
champion.
NXT champion? I don't think so.
No, I
TNA,
feel like
yes. North American, yes, but she hasn't been
this is so weird because we have this exact same problem on the main roster. Now we can't push people because other more
because
established wrestlers are
they
champion.
para may pecking order.
Oh, they're very pecking
Ganon.
order, and now NXT does the opposite, and people are still complaining about this. Diba? Like, who cares? She's good. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, Doc G is right that Kendall Gray hasn't won the North American Women's Championship yet, but at the same time, Dave Meltzer wasn't kidding when he said that if you don't lock down Kendall Gray and make her a lifer, she will go to the competition and wrestle her ass off and make the women's division great. Diba? Unless
yeah,
that other place is TNA, which is basically tied to the hip with WWE.
yeah. So come on, guys. Like, we recognize talent here. We see someone like Kendall Gray, and I get it. Like, I get the push. I get the
Uh,
push that she's getting.
uh,
I guess for a lot of people, could say it's more of, oh, what about this person? Why they haven't gotten their due? Which is, I don't think it's a knock on them, but that's just how good Kendall Gray has been.
yeah, parang okay, if her next matches suck, then take the championship off her. Like if she
Yeah,
fails to connect, then take the championship off her. It's you can fix that. But the reason why she won the championship was because she's good. And people were
yeah,
connecting to her work. Diba? And
yes,
that
yeah,
the performance center training is really good.
yeah,
So you know, I feel like some people are OA then. Like
yeah,
there's always gonna be people complaining about pushes. And then at the same time, more people will complain about some people not getting pushed. Diba?
This is why I have to stop taking Twitter takes seriously.
Yeah. I have the thread stakes are also a little negative, pero mas less unhinged sila dun for
All
whatever
right,
reason.
all
So
right.
get off of Twitter. It's Elon's ano naman. Like don't give Elon your
Yeah,
money.
I've been using like threads more
Yeah.
lately.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, let's end here because let's give ourselves the rest of the night off. Right? You got anything to plug? Anything
Oh,
at all?
just follow the podcast and all social media platforms.
Ako
That's
naman, please go check out the tickets for DexCon weekend this month. If you haven't yet, it's happening 2 weeks from Saturday.
Yeah, they're announcing the matches now.
Yeah,
A lot of matches were
and
announced this week.
I'm sick and I need to get better already.
Oh yeah.
I'm working
You're
3
both.
matches that weekend. So, DexCon.helixpay.ph. Use my secret, or not my secret, my special voucher code DXCNROM for 100 pesos off, minimum purchase of 1,500. Right? Thank you to Babyface producer Jasper for always making us sound great, for putting together our video content, our video reels, and for sticking with us after all these years. And if you want to continue the conversation, it's at Wrestling2X Pod on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. Twitter, TikTok, and Blue Sky, at Wrestling Podcast on Instagram, Threads, and Facebook. For Emil, it's at EML_Meister, at Chino Supersize, at _Stan C, at Monday Night Rowan. For myself, it's at Rose War and at Shang.Daddy on TikTok and the rest. Right? This has been another episode of the Wrestling Podcast. We'll see you guys on Monday, hopefully. Bahala na kung may malaki nangyari on SmackDown. If not, we'll see you on Thursday night for the live stream once again. Till then, please stay safe, stay dry. It's been raining hard. Please stay cool and stay hydrated all the time. And don't be a dick. Wrestling Podcast out. Later, Outcasts. Peace.